Okay, path to office, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were a write-in candidate in, I think it was 2004, and can you explain how that came about? What's the story?
Yeah, the story was, as you noted, I'm a scientist and engineer. I was developing wind energy technology for 20-some years. My son, who's a veteran, joined the service after 9/11. He gave me a call in 2004 and said, "Hey, Dad, I just got my absentee ballot in the mail. There's no one running against the incumbent. He's the most anti-environmental member of Congress, and he supports the war in Iraq, which was, in my mind, an immoral and unjust war." And so he challenged me, "Hey, Dad, I'm serving our country. What are you doing with yourself?" And so that's kind of a hard thing to ignore. And so I, after some coaxing, I took up the challenge and ran. But the ballots were already out, so I couldn't be a party's nominee. I had to be a write-in candidate in the primary election.
Oh.
So in the primary election, I was a write-in candidate. The result was you have to get 1% of the vote in the last general election, of the votes cast in the last general election, to become a nominee in the general election.
Okay.
If you're a write-in candidate. And so I had to get something like 1,600 people to write my name into a ballot. I had no political experience.
Yeah.
We did a lot, and there's a lot to that story, but we were a couple of votes, we were like 60 votes short. But looking at the data, it didn't add up to me, so I asked for a recount. You have to pay for a recount out of your own pocket.
Oh.
Which is significant because the registrar has to hire people and reserve space and all that. But if you overturn the election, you get your money back. So
okay.
It's kind of an interesting process.
So what did you do?
Well, we did. We had a recount in Contra Costa County. We picked up something like 16 out of the 60 votes we needed. Mm-hmm. We went to San Joaquin County. We picked up another 40-some votes because they had just entirely left out a precinct.
Oh.
And then I went to Santa Clara County, and the registrar met me at the door and said, we missed these 7 votes, so it was really within just a few votes.
Okay.
I came to Alameda County, which is a political guerrilla, if you understand, Alameda County.
Yeah.
And so we fought and struggled vote by vote and picked up a vote, lost the vote, and at the end of the day I made it by 2 votes.
Okay. And you got your money back.
I got my money back. Okay. And then I was the nominee. I was the party's nominee in the general election in 2004. But, I had no backing from Washington or anybody, really. So I got crushed in that election. It's an R+7 district. It's a Republican, strongly Republican-leaning district.
Yeah.
And it didn't have much of a chance. I didn't know that at the time, but I figured that out later.
Well, I mean, we start things, right? We get excited, we try them, and then we learn.
You know this.
I know all about this. So it's the way that I did my monument project. I was like, I'll just try. And then we'll see. And then you learn, and then you get back up and you try again. Speaking of which, 2 years later,
2 years later, but in 2006, then I knew what was involved. I knew how to raise money. I knew how to speak in public. And I went to Washington and met with Rahm Emanuel. He told me to get out of the race. I told him to shove it. He told me to get out of his office. And I won, and he loved me after that. He loved me because I told him, I stood up to him, and then I won, and he loves a winner.
Okay.
And so we were good friends after that. So
that's nice.
That was nice. But, the transition to Congress was euphoric. You're here in Washington, and you're going to be involved. But, one of the things that was so daunting was this fundraising. You need to raise money every single day you're there. I mean, it's like it's such an overwhelming thing.
Yeah.
And there's pressure. You gotta, if you're in a safe seat, you have to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to give to the party. If you're in district, you have to raise millions of dollars to protect yourself. And it was just overwhelming. But we were able to do some really great things on the Anti-Government Act, getting that veteran facility built. Some smaller bills, the traumatic brain injury bill for veterans. That was the signature injury of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. And then a lot of bills on tech, on broadband access and those issues. So we did a lot of things, but in Washington, as a rank and file member, you have limited amount of pull. the leadership in the party really has where the pull is,
Yeah.
and the committee chairs.
Right.
So you can slip your bills into somebody's bigger bill if you're good, and maybe if you can hide something in the appropriations process, you can get some money through to do something once in a while.
Right.
But it's a struggle to get very much done.
Okay. So it sounds like some of the surprises were the fact that the fundraising has to continue to go on kind of all the time when you're there, and then there's a power structure in place that makes, on top of just getting regular power as a representative, you've got to work within the power structure that's pre-existing in Washington.